Happy World Quantum Day from everyone at the London Centre for Nanotechnology. Why did some of our amazing quantum engineers and scientists get into quantum? We asked researchers across Imperial, King's and UCL.
I think I first got into quantum when someone told me that atoms and molecules were the building blocks that made up the universe, and I thought that's something I need to learn more about.
The way I started in quantum was actually through a high school program designated for people who were just curious about physics. And I started taking the courses in that program, and all of a sudden everything became about quantum mechanics. And that was the first time that I'd heard about the term quantum computers. And since that experience, the only thing that I wanted to do was get into the field of quantum computing at its infancy before it matures. And I'm lucky to say that now I've continued that path onto the PhD from then.
I started with quantum very, very early in my study. That's probably the first year at university, because I had excellent teachers. And I found it so extraordinary, so unusual in terms of physics, that I really fell in love with it. And to really understand how things were working in quantum, I decided to do voluntary summer internship and trying laboratory things, trying computational things, and I really enjoyed it. And that's how I fell into quantum.
So I first got interested in science as a little kid, doing various little experiments at home or a telescope in the garden. And I then followed it up by studying physics at university. And I really loved particularly the lab work. So I stayed for a PhD, and then I worked in industry, in the semiconductor industry in lab work. And now I'm back in academia doing quantum research.
I was just fascinated about quantum science when I was at university, and then during my PhD, I could actually see it work. I could look inside an experiment and really see quantum physics happening. And from that point on, I was totally hooked.
I got into quantum through both my physics degree, but also the joint part of my physics degree that I did, which was in philosophy. And I really took an interest both in the hard mathematical side of quantum mechanics, but also some of the interesting philosophical implications. This got me really interested in how these things that are a little bit confusing are actually the same things that make quantum information, quantum technologies particularly useful for applications in the industry.
I studied chemistry at university, and after chemistry I decided to move into edtech. So I did a lot of filming educational lectures for children, and I felt like I wasn't really being challenged. So I kind of wanted to move back into a field where I felt like I was being stimulated a bit more, and decided quantum would be the thing for me.
I really wanted to understand, how does a quantum computer solve a problem in a different way to a classical computer? And so what new problems does this enable us to solve? I did a short internship on outreach for IBM, and that actually put me in touch with Steve Gervin and Nathan Weeb at Yale and U Toronto, who taught me a lot of what I know about quantum algorithms in exchange for me making short contributions or small contributions, but in a regular way. And then since then I've taken forwards a lot of these ideas and developed them further. And I suppose just linking back to, quantum policy is actually also answering the initial question that I was asking: how do quantum computers solve new problems, and what does that bring to society?